with injury updates and more. This is Pro Wrestling Central. My name is John, and you're watching the Wrestling Report. Asked about his contractual status with AEW, commentator and occasional wrestler for the company, Nigel McGuinness, told the Wambreezy Wrestling podcast, "No, I think it's all under the same thing. My manager and agent sort of handle all that side of things. I just sign along the dotted line. We did re-up when it became clear I was going to be getting in the ring again. Just sort of like an amendment to it, but essentially it's the same contract, I believe." Nigel McGuinness explained that his AEW commentary work and recent in-ring appearances fall under the same contract, with only a small amendment added once he started wrestling again. Criticizing the increasing ticket prices for WWE events, Mark Henry said this to TMZ's Inside the Ring. "My grandmother couldn't afford to take me to wrestling today, even into the nosebleeds. When I was 9, 12, 13 years old, it was like $8. We'd go to Houston, Lafayette, and Dallas to watch wrestling. The grandma taking her grandchild to wrestling is almost over. She couldn't afford to pay $250 for a ticket. Bring back the live events and house shows, so at least you can have a traditional wrestling ticket for the fans. The reason that they took the live events away is not because it costs too much. They did it because they want you to be like you're in the desert. Man, I haven't had wrestling in forever. I'm gonna drive 150 miles, get a hotel, miss work, and spend $500 a ticket. We want family. We want butts and seats. If you sell a ticket to somebody for $500 and there's 10 people that would pay $50, you're gonna make your money." In a clip, ISHOWSPEED can be seen attempting an RKO on Randy Orton at the Speed Goes Pro launch event.
What's up, man?
What's good, Randy? You good, man?
Good to see you.
Yo, thank you for pulling up, man.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you for pulling up. Thank you, bro.
Yeah. Hey, congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, I guess we'll do a little something in a couple weeks, right?
Yeah, you ready for that?
I am.
Yeah, of course, bro.
I am.
Let's do it, man.
Hey, thank you for not actually RKOing me just now.
Oh, no.
Even though you owe me one.
Hey, you did a lot of you did a lot of shit to me. I should have just did it.
I didn't blind breaker you.
You're right.
You owe that motherfucker.
Yeah, you're right.
You gotta hit him with a truck.
I will.
Recalling how he felt his job in AEW was constantly in jeopardy due to controversy surrounding his former tag team partner Max Caster, Anthony Bowens told Good Karma Wrestling, "People don't understand what I went through backstage with Max Caster. I can't be any more genuine. There were times where I thought I was not going to have a job anymore, and that is terrifying as somebody who has always dreamed of being on television, being on Dynamite, wrestling every week. And then to come to work and potentially have that ripped away for something that you didn't even do, that's a petrifying thought. And that's what I lived with every week tagging with this guy, because I'm not going to get into it. There was just occurrence after occurrence after occurrence after occurrence where I was cleaning up this guy's mess." Going over changes to how WWE calls up NXT talent to Raw or SmackDown, Fightful Select reported the call-ups themselves have been kept way closer to the vest and are less strict as a talent getting off of NXT TV just to go to the main roster. The standard procedure has been that a talent gets called up, and because of the easier main roster schedule these days, they can usually still finish out on NXT TV. It was stated by that source that there have been some brought in that didn't have immediate main roster plans, and a full-on NXT run was the intent from the company. Providing an update on Britt Baker's status in AEW, Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful noted her contract goes at least a year, and then they could add injury time to it, assuming it's like every other deal. That would take her well into 2027. From what I understand, she's been willing to come back, she's healthy, all that. She had worked through injuries for years, then had to take time off, had some really terrible stuff happen to her, and didn't get the appropriate reps in. I do think we'll see her again. They just didn't do it. Baker also recently made this post on X during her hiatus, writing, "We're always so quick to burn the trolls on this app, but never quick enough to appreciate the true fans who show love every day. Thank you." Talking about the filming process for The Smashing Machine and an injury he suffered, The Rock told Jimmy Fallon, "Yes, so Benny Safdie had this motto before we started shooting, which was as real as it gets. Let's make it as real as it gets. And then he said to me, I would love in these fighting scenes to never cut away from you, and I would like to not use your stunt double. Well, I know what that means. That means I'm getting my ass kicked. And I said, absolutely, let's do it. Aside from putting on the 30 pounds of Mark Kerr muscle, I went through a 3-month training camp with MMA fighters and coaches because I really had to look the part. There's a scene at the end, and this happened in real life. Mark Kerr is in Japan, fighting in front of 30,000 people against Fujita. Mark is on all fours. Fujita is wailing away on him, and he's not moving. But he's not knocked out, he's just taking every hit. And I asked Benny, are we going to shoot the scene like that? And he said yes. So I told the fighter I was working with, hey brother, I know it sounds crazy, but you've got to hit me. You have to hit me. And he was a Japanese fighter, very respectful. He said, no, I will not hit you. He refused. Finally, I said, please, we have one shot at this. You must hit me. Benny came over and said, you must hit him. I know you respect DJ, but you respect the real fight with Mark Kerr in Japan. Keep our integrity and wail away. So in the movie, you'll see him rocking me over and over. After that fight, you see me looking loopy. That's because I had a concussion. But that's the thing. If you're going to make an MMA movie, you've got to go all the way. And that's what we did. You've got to play the part. Mentioning the contract negotiations between JAZMYN, Nix, and WWE prior to the NXT star's departure, Brian Alvarez said this on Wrestling Observer Radio. I'm told JAZMYN's original deal was $75,000 and her new offer, which she turned down, was approximately $98,000. I didn't get a specific reasoning outside of a hint that the contract would start out at what they offered and likely escalate. They're certainly willing to let talent walk and replace them, especially anyone under the top levels. Nix had said this regarding her time on NXT. I was wrestling a lot the past couple months and a lot on main event matches, so no, I didn't feel as if I was a manager or valet. I was getting a lot of great opportunities that I am very grateful for. I'm not sure what the future looked like for me, and I was definitely willing to work hard to get there, but I felt that there could have been uncertainty there for sure in terms of what they had planned for me in the future because of the offer. Revealing that he wrestled 2 seasons on WWE LFG with a torn shoulder, BJ Ray said this on X. Cat's out of the bag. Yes, ever since my return on LFG Season 1, I have been competing with a 100% torn rotator cuff and labrum. The surgeon asked me, bro, how have you been wrestling? The only thing holding your shoulder together is your muscle fibers. I told him the show must go on. That's right, I wrestled both seasons of LFG, basically not even able to wrestle because I knew that my personality was more than any other contender had. I have absolutely zero regrets and my shoulder is now repaired. I will be back in no time and actually able to lift my arm without it feeling detached from my body. Appreciate the love. As the ratings machine, I felt it was my duty to still be out there putting on for y'all, as well as the WWE and A&E asking me to push through as 25% of myself, because they knew how many views I drew. We will be back in no time, baby. All love, sexy BJ Ray. I don't need the narcos. I don't need the narcos. Just a beer and a cigarette. Touching on the injury she suffered at WrestleMania 41, Bianca Belair told the Club 520 podcast, "I have my wedding ring on my right hand because my left finger is still broken." Fightful added, "When the injury happened, WWE did not think she was going to be out this long." Now, her finger looked terrible from what I understood. It swelled up big time. People were coming and checking on it. It was on the triple German suplex spot at Mania where I think that she thought she broke all of her fingers, but she actually broke the knuckle. So it ended up a lot worse than they thought. Belair also said this about the match at Mania. "That's one of my matches I'm super proud about at WrestleMania this past year with Rhea Ripley, Io Sky. There was a lot of strength and athleticism that we displayed, and storytelling. That's what's amazing about WWE. It's sports entertainment for sure, and that's what we do. I'm super proud to be a part of something like that." And this was your pro wrestling news update. I hope you're all having a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see y'all later.